Looking for an anime that'll make you feel for compelling characters and an engrossing story that may or may not make you shed a tear? Then look no further, as this in-depth list will inform you on my favorite drama and romance anime that you may like, all spread throughout 5 parts. So subscribe to keep up to date with all those upcoming parts and like to spread the awareness of some of these awesome anime. Enjoy. Anohana was a breeze to marathon with this span over just a day. The story revolves around these 4 characters who are caught in this love chain, and of course we have one of the best female senpai characters and the simultaneous appearance of the Men in Black, but that's besides the point. It starts with Takatsuki Ichika, an alien that has found herself trapped on Earth, and so she finds herself taking shelter underneath the roof of our main guy Kaito, who is obsessed with his camera and fallen head over heels with Ichika. The first 4 episodes eases the viewer into how these characters are, and then once summer hits, that's when the real story kicks into how events turn out later on. What I really adore about the story was how the characters didn't really become throwaway people that you would forget when you think of Anonatsu as an overall, as we have several bearings within the show to keep things from going stale, with the main character's love triangle that goes spiraling around. Despite what I said about the characters, most of their actions to me were quite predictable to me, in all honesty. However, I felt that certain confessions weren't really dragged out or left to the side, when it could have easily been rushed like most other romance anime, so I give it props for that. All in all, check out Anohana, especially if you enjoyed Toradora. Anohana is one of the go-to series if you are looking for a heartfelt story with intense drama. The story revolves around a group of childhood friends who have gone their own separate ways, and then find themselves often being brought together by their dead friend Menma, who appears as a ghost that only Jinta, our main guy, can see. So throughout the series we have nothing but confrontations from practically everyone except this guy. Everyone feels guilty about how Menma died way in the past, with everyone blaming themselves, which often gets thrown about throughout the series. I'd highly suggest you try Anohana if you are looking for something more drama driven than for the romance, which I personally believe is the show's weaker genre in this case. Kanon is something I would recommend quite highly if you enjoyed the feel, atmosphere, and some of the themes that Clannad had. The reason I say this is because partly both apples came from the same tree. In Kanon's case, I felt it offered a lot more variety and closure in the sense of how our main character Yuichi approached each girl in this harem route, therefore allowing us, the audience, the closure a heck of a lot more than what Clannad did in my opinion towards the other girls. As for characters, a lot of them come with a story that will most definitely touch that heart of yours if you have one, with the compelling and tear-jerking stories, particularly her. All in all, if you're looking for a mellow, light-hearted story with some heartbreaking tragedies that'll get you attached to the story and its own characters, then definitely try out Kanon. Don't let the fact that White Album 2 seems like a sequel at first glance, because that isn't the case in this instance. What I adored about White Album 2 was how mature and realistic the relationships and themes that were addressed here, especially in comparison to most romance anime that's out there. The story revolves around this love triangle that starts out as a light music club and evolves into a stronger relationship where jealousy, betrayal, and identity crisis comes to fruition. I cannot recommend this show highly enough. Try out White Album 2, and believe me, you are definitely in for a treat if you like to engross yourself into sophisticated drama romance anime. Clannad has pretty much become a classic acknowledged by most people as the best drama slice of life romance anime. The story revolves around Okazuki Tomoya, a delinquent with nothing much going on in his life and no ambition, till he meets Nagisa. As the series progresses, you'll generally see Tomoya pretty much help anyone walking with a vagina to tackle each obstacle that each of these girls encounter at the time he befriends each of them in this harem, which is what the whole first season pretty much focuses on, while seeing Tomoya's affection for Nagisa develop. This then kicks into After Story, which is the sequel that a lot of people claim to be one of the top 10 anime of all time. The reason being is that the drama and romance intensifies so much to the point where you really feel attached to the pairing of Nagisa and Tomoya practically over any other anime couple out there, which is why After Story is quite the tearjerker, as it takes quite a drastic turn in comparison to the first season. However, my only complaint is how limited the involvement of the other girls are in the after story, as the whole of the first season was used to introduce us to their characters. However, from what you get from Tomi and Nagisa will at times keep you at the edge of your seat, as your concern for those characters intensifies by a blindfold. So definitely check out Clannad if you have a heart. I hope you all enjoyed and found something to watch from this part. If not, fear not, because you can subscribe to get notified when the next part will arrive, or click here to get to the next one if they are available at the time you are watching this part. So please drop a like, and I'll speak to you all in the next video later, people.